it's a real honour to be able to speak to you today. Congratulations, first of all, on The Colour Purple. It's
Thank
amazing.
You. Thank you.
So this is a bold take on a beloved classic.
Yeah.
As a director, how did it feel going into this project? Because obviously you've got so much responsibility to do justice and more to a film and a book that's already so highly regarded.
Absolutely. I mean, The Color Purple is sacred text, you know. It means so much. So many people have found healing in the work itself. So, you know, you go into a project like that and it's like, you better have something tangible to contribute, something important to contribute. So for me, it took me a while to build up the confidence. But once I kind of went back to Alice Walker's brilliant Pulitzer Prize winning book and kind of read that opening line, you know, "Dear God, I'm 14 years old," and text goes on, it became very clear to me that anyone who writes letters to God must have an imagination.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, for me, it was like, oh, I could find my way into this. And I can keep expanding her imagination and kind of move away from the Celie that we've known for a while, where she's miscategorized as docile and waiting to be saved. But instead, someone who's active and figuring things out in her head. That was kind of it for me.
Yeah. And why was it so important for you to show this generation The Colour Purple, like to show it to a new generation of people?
Well, it's important that a new generation gets to experience The Color Purple because the elements that Alice Walker dealt with in the 80s, channeling her ancestors, are still incredibly prevalent. Issues of domestic violence, sexual abuse, discrimination based on sexual orientation, racism. These are all things that she tackled in her book. And, sadly, it's an indictment of how far we have not come as a race and as humans, right? And so, it's absolutely important that not only do young people get to experience this, they also get to experience the beginnings and the origins of these really difficult things that we're still grappling with.
You're right, that is super important. And when I left the journalist screening after watching the film, there were a lot of people who were sobbing. They were in tears. Were there any parts during filming that made you particularly emotional? And anything surrounding Fantasia, actually, because she sang I Am Here, powerful song, emotional song, and she sang it live as well, which is unheard of, but absolutely incredible.
Well, yeah, I teared up, the whole crew teared up, watching Fantasia perform I'm Here, because it mirrors her life. This is the Fantasia Barrino we fell in love with on American Idol, and we're all rooting for her to build an incredible life and an incredible career, and things went south, and her life kind of took a dark turn. And so, when she sings I'm Here, she's healed, and was going through her healing process in the making of this. And I remember when there's a line where she goes, I'm beautiful and I'm here. And, we talked about it, and I was like, I think you want to communicate directly with the audience that have been watching you throughout. She did this brilliant thing when the camera pushes in on her and she looks directly at us. She goes, I'm beautiful, yes, I'm beautiful. And her voice breaks. And I mean, that broke everybody on set because, again, we all knew how important this was for her as a person, but also for the character Celie.
Exactly. The power of film. This goes beyond. Do you know what I mean? It's like this is a healing process for her, which I think is just like, wow. But tell me a little bit more about your choice to release the film on Christmas Day in the US. Was this basically you saying, this is my gift to you, America?
Well, it's a gift. It's a gift of also family. This is all about taking your loved ones to go see this movie. People you haven't spoken to in a while. People who you've had issues with. Because at the end, when we get to the end and everybody stands around that tree and holds hands, that's all our families. The families that are apart, the families that are grappling with issues, and it also, I'm always reminded that this text is about radical forgiveness, and it's, and it comes with accountability. And I think that that's what many families are seeking and looking for. And I think that on Christmas Day, they're going to get that gift.
That's very true. That is amazing. Thank you so much for speaking to me today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
And congratulations again.
Thank you. Pleasure.